remember hearing anything about Native American culture other than Native Americans lived in a teepee. It's about it. And I really can't think of any other. The Pilgrims and the Indians, which is also a lie. It actually never happened. Not in the way that Lincoln tried to tell it. But so I realized that, in reading about Christopher Columbus, I see a lot of people saying, well, Columbus is a jerk. Columbus is terrible. And so I was trying to find some research, and I didn't see much on it, and I was like, wait, what? So I went and I said, to myself, I am going to write a story telling people as much as I can from a Native perspective, an indigenous perspective, because depending on who writes the story, they will, focus on certain aspects more so than something else. And as opposed to Christopher Columbus being called a hero, I wanted to look at what really happened. So I went in, I dug deep. I read his journal. I read his journals, his writings, his letters, letters of others, letters of people who were there, histories based upon, carried down, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Read probably hundreds of articles online, and nothing really formed everything that I wanted. And so what I really found was lie after lie after lie. And I'm like, that is just really not true at all. So I decided that I wanted to write something that kind of addressed all of that. And the very first article I wrote on it was Myths and Atrocities of Christopher Columbus. And boom, it went viral big time. And it's been shared every year since. And I used to work as a journalist and later an editor and then a television producer for Indian Country Today. And, now I got a really wonderful book deal with Random House that I'm working on now, and left Indian Country Today on very friendly terms. I love them all dearly, but I still wanted a place to kind of do my stuff. So I created and founded Native Viewpoint, and I've been writing there since. So, Columbus needed to be addressed, and Columbus needed to be taken down a peg, as far as I was concerned, because I got tired of every single solitary Columbus Day having to have fights with someone and not have anything to back up what I felt. So now I can say, hey, here's this article I wrote, here's the research I've done. So thank you for asking me that, because, it's something I feel very, very, very passionate about. Hey, I'm from my name up there.
Absolutely.
Gotta love some narcissism out here, folks.
No, it's good.
I'm from the biggest, I come from the state with the biggest Italian population in the U.S., New Jersey, and was also born in New York. And so,
love the Italian.
Can I just say something real quick to address that? Sure. I am anti-Columbus. I am not anti-Italian.
Thank you. Why is that so complicated? Does it mean if I don't like Hitler, I'm anti-German? Does it mean if I I'm not a fan of Mussolini? I've never been called anti-Italian before.
But
right. That's an excellent point. Excellent point. See, and here's another reason why you guys have asked. I'm asking this that I'll respond to as well. Is that what happens to a lot of people? And I ran into similar things when I advocated very strongly against the Washington Redskins name at the time. And what happens is when you say something that is addressing something that someone's learned, what you're doing, I believe, as far as this person is concerned that feels attacked, is you are addressing an issue, and you what happens is that because they don't have a foundation of where they've learned this information, they feel as though you're attacking their learning process, which could include the friends that they've learned with, their teacher that was really wonderful and loving and maybe made small turkeys out of their hands. And Mrs. Crabtree was really the wonderfulest teacher in the world. And you're telling me she's a liar, screw you, blah, blah, blah. We don't like you because you're telling me that my wonderful loving teacher is wrong. Heck no. So what I try to tell people is that, look, I am not trying to dismantle some of the really wonderful things you've had happen in your life. And I'm not trying to dismantle a community, or I'm not trying to dismantle, your culture or race or heritage. What I'm trying to do is say, hey, look at the truth. And maybe people had really wonderful and loving intentions as a teacher wants to reach out to her children and help them. But sometimes your teacher was lied to. So let's not get mad at me for saying this is the truth. Let's get mad at the consistency in hiding the truth from us through the years. I have so many different stories of history that will infuriate people if they knew the truth. But the thing is because people are closed-minded to the fact, well, I shouldn't say closed-minded, but resistant to the fact of some truth and dismantling of what existed, sometimes they react very viciously. There's been times where I've had some pretty serious, terrible threats against me, against my family. I've been doxxed. I've been told this, I've been told that, and even today I got some flack. So, but it's, as far as I'm concerned, par for the course and it comes with the deal.
I very much relate. I am currently putting together a panel for Saturday called Deconstructing Zionism, and I'm a Jew from South Florida. So when you talk about hate from people not wanting to accept facts, I am like so deep in that it's just absurd. And I'm telling people, like, you're entitled to your opinion, but you're not entitled to your fact. So if you still have that opinion, once we give you the facts, then fine, but just own it. Like that, people do not, there's the cognitive dissonance is real. Like it's people cannot handle it. It's very unsettling.
And there's some people that you're never going to convince otherwise.
Yeah.
That's just really it. Sometimes you can work yourself into an absolute exhaustion if you want to, or you can realize that sometimes some people just aren't going to change their mind.
Thanks for watching. If you want to support our mission to transform politics into service, please like this video, subscribe, follow us on social media, and consider joining our Patreon, where you'll get early access to our interviews as well as other exclusive content. Links are in the description. Peace out.